morning, and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Ashley Grams in today for China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. We do have Rod Hill and Chris McGinnis also standing by here at the top of the 6 o'clock hour with a quick look at weather and traffic.
Well, thank you. It's a very quiet morning out there once again today. We do have cameras showing more fog overall than 24 hours ago. We have that same low cloud deck that didn't clear yesterday, didn't clear last night, and is expected to be with us for the most part today. Here's a look at the state capitol. Again, getting a little tougher to see with the foggy conditions. 37 degrees, foggy over downtown Portland as well, now down to 36. Notice the winds are calm. Again, no wind today, which will make it tough to clear out of the clouds. If the overcast continues, we'll be about 39 degrees at noon and be doing well just to get up to about 40 or 41, which was yesterday's high temperature. Here's Chris.
Rod, photojournalist Eric Patterson manning the wheel of Drive 8. He's heading south right now on I-5 through, it looks like he's just south of Hazeldale now, slipping down towards the Interstate Bridge, and volume's still pretty light. I think the fog gets a little thicker as you get down towards the bridge, but in any event, light volume and light fog here and there across the region. There's Interstate 84 and a quick check of the Sylvan Hill. You're kind of up in the low cloud deck here, but at this point not impacting the drive. Heads up later on this morning. ODOT doing some curb installation and safety upgrades here on Southeast Powell. That'll mean lane closures periodically near Southeast 36th Avenue. Guys?
All right, Chris, thank you for that. First headline here at 6 o'clock comes from Northeast Portland, where police are investigating the death of a man who was found in the parking lot of the Gateway Fred Meyer. Late yesterday afternoon, officers responded to a call about a robbery and a shooting in that area. Although at this point, police still aren't saying if the man who was found dead was shot. They say the suspect or suspects got away before officers arrived. Anyone with information about this case should contact Portland Police.
Now back to our top story this morning. Big changes proposed at a Portland amusement park.
So Oaks Park is looking to add a 150-foot tall ride, but they're getting pushback right now from neighbors over the ride's potential environmental impact. Thomas Schultz is covering this story for us live at Oaks Park. So Thomas, let's talk about the specific concerns that these neighbors are voicing.
Yeah, well, Drew and Ashley, one of those main concerns is actually about how it will affect birds. Those neighbors say this will be really detrimental to birds that fly in this area. They say hundreds of species of birds fly through this park on a yearly basis. Neighbors also say that this huge lighted ride would overwhelm the view. The new ride Oaks Park hopes to build is called a drop tower. Riders start high in the air before free falling toward the ground. In order to build the ride, Oaks Park needs the city to increase the maximum structure height from 30 to 147 feet for the area. And there's only a few days left for public comment before the city makes its decision.
I feel blindsided by that. If Oaks Park were going to be a good neighbor, it would have alerted the affected neighborhood in advance.
Though Oaks Park staff argue the amusement park operates seasonally and is generally only open in daylight hours.
So there's only a handful of days where the ride light would even be on in the evening when it's not light out.
Now Oaks Park is looking to have this expedited process because they say that their ride and the park as a whole predates permitting rules in Portland, so they're seeking that historical exception there. The city is allowing public comment on this in their land use planner. That'll be open until Thursday at 5 p.m. Guys?
Thank you so much, Thomas. Now to the relief efforts surrounding the Southern California wildfires. Kroger is pledging to raise $1 million for those impacted. In a statement, it also committed to match up to $500,000 in company funds through customer donations. This video shows just some of the devastation there. Officials say at least 24 people have been killed and thousands of homes have already been destroyed. You can support Kroger's effort by rounding up your purchase to the nearest dollar at Fred Meyer or QFC.
Also, a reminder that KHW is teaming up with the Red Cross to support wildfire victims in Southern California. If you're able, please consider making a donation by scanning this QR code we have up on the screen. You can also look for links to that donation site at khw.com, and you can make donations in person at any U.S. bank branch. So far, with our viewers' help, we've already raised over $45,000. Day 5 of the Providence healthcare worker strike begins with the Oregon Nurses Association facing a complaint. Providence has filed an unfair labor complaint against the union, accusing it of delaying bargaining. The union says that's not true. Providence also says it's ready to negotiate with union employees at 6 of the 8 facilities involved in this strike. The exceptions, though, are its 2 biggest hospitals, Providence Portland and Providence St. Vincent.
A Washington County jury found a man guilty of kidnapping and sexually assaulting a wheelchair-bound homeless woman. The district attorney released video showing some of their interaction in 2023. I do want to warn you that the details here are disturbing. Prosecutors say 54-year-old Timothy Fitzgerald, who was seen here talking with the woman on a sidewalk in Beaverton, physically assaulted her before taking her to a nearby parking lot and sexually assaulting her for 40 minutes. We spoke with the deputy DA following his conviction.
We want to protect our more vulnerable populations in Washington County and make sure that crimes are both charged and prosecuted accordingly, and that victims feel like they're able to come forward and share their stories of what happened to them.
Fitzgerald is scheduled to be sentenced in March.
St. Helens High School teacher Eric Stearns will stay in jail after his court case was delayed again. So Stearns is facing 18 charges of sexual abuse against 12 different people. Yesterday, he waived his right to have a preventative detention hearing within 5 days. His trial is delayed because he and his defense attorney are pushing for a new judge. They've complained about court filings in this case so far and how the judge, who currently is presiding over the case, has handled procedural matters.
And we're learning more about a shooting in Scappoose that sent one person to the hospital. Just after 8 on Sunday night, Columbia County Sheriff's deputies responded to the area of Green Meadow Way and Miller Road. When investigators arrived, they found 28-year-old John Fisher Adams had been shot in the chest by his roommate, 36-year-old Daniel Brandon Williams. Adams was treated at a hospital and he was later released. Both Adams and Williams were arrested and booked into the Columbia County Jail.
And that was some of the craziest local video we had last week on Sunrise. It showed a man as he crashed his pickup truck right through Center Market convenience store out in Polk County. Clearly, he caused a lot of damage. Thankfully, no one there was hurt. Well, this morning we have an update to that story because the store is back open again. In a Facebook post, the market announced that the store opened back up yesterday morning. The alleged driver of this incident, meanwhile, John Marlis, is faced with multiple charges, including reckless driving, robbery, and DUII.
Yeah, you know what that means. That music. Friday Night Hoops is back. Season 7 tips off this Friday. It's the only game in town for full coverage of girls and boys high school basketball, along, of course, with the Blazers and college basketball. You can tune in Friday at 11 for all the action, and we will see you then. Let's bring in meteorologist Rod Hill now. Rod, you're tracking the next 7 days. What are we looking at today?
Yeah, more dry weather. Today could very easily be exactly in every possible way, just like yesterday was. The low cloud deck that didn't clear yesterday stayed solid overnight, and with no wind to help break it up, may very well stay solid again today. It doesn't really show up that well on the satellite picture. What this does show you is that we're dry across the area, and minus the slightest of chances of a trace of rain on Thursday, we're completely dry into maybe the mid part of next week. Here's a view from the Pioneer Park building camera looking down at the square. Good visibility here at street level. 36 degrees is the temperature with calm winds. It's 32 now out in Forest Grove, but most of us have stayed just above freezing. Westland and Wilsonville each at 35. Salem's at 37. Albany, good morning to you. 34 degrees is your temperature. Here's the forecast map for today. Again, with these days this time of the year where it's low clouds and still in the valley, it's often sunny and spectacular at the coast. Our Lincoln City camera is clear right now. We expect a sunny day, about 50 degrees, no wind really. Gorgeous day there. Low clouds making it difficult to get any warmer than 40 or 42 up and down the I-5 corridor from Eugene all the way up into Portland. And then you've got partly to mostly sunny skies out east where a lot of you will be right about 40. It's warmer in Central Oregon. Bend gets up to about 50 today with sunshine. Should be a beautiful day in Central Oregon. Here's our 7-day forecast. 43 today, maybe. It'll be tough to get that warm if the clouds stay solid. But tomorrow we clear. East winds develop overnight tonight. So with sunny skies tomorrow, we'll pop it up to 48. Mainly a dry Thursday, partly cloudy skies, 48. And then we have clear skies with east winds returning and cold nights in the 20s as we roll into the weekend and into the first part of next week. And that's your update.